Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Superjohn Clean Suwan. Southern officials will further boost security in Hat Yai towards the end of the Islamic holy month of Ramadan, as intelligence suggests that insurgents may be planning more attacks. Meanwhile, 6 more soldiers were injured today when a bomb exploded in front of a bank in Yala province. Earlier this afternoon, 6 soldiers in a patrol unit were injured when a bomb went off in front of a branch of the Bank of Islam in Yala's Raman district. There were no reports of other casualties, yet none of the culprits were captured. Meanwhile, security officials in the Deep South will now focus on protecting Hat Yai, which is an important business area of Songkhla province, after intelligence received indicated that insurgents may be planning attacks on the area at the end of the month of Ramadan, which falls in the last week of August. The state has always accused insurgents in the restive South of trying to turn violence into a religious cause to gain support from locals. Southern authorities told Thai PBS that this month, at least 600 more undercover soldiers and police will be deployed in Hat Yai, as well as the installation of more CCTV cameras in an effort to boost safety for locals and tourists. Officials will have to be on extra wary of the theft of cars, as they may be used as car bombs, similar to the one which exploded under the Lee Gardens Hotel in April this year. And tomorrow, the Pheu Thai-led government, along with their coalition partners, will work out a game plan for how they will proceed with the Constitution Amendment process, as well as in preparation for the Censure Debate scheduled for later this month. Meanwhile, former Democrat leader Banyat Banthathan will lead the opposition attack in the Censure Debate. Abhisit Wecha Chiwa, opposition leader, revealed that the opposition is in the process of gathering information and evidence to use to attack the government, their policies and performance during this month's planned censure. The Democrats claim some policies are at best not effective and at worst corrupt. The opposition will wait until the government reveals its annual performance statement later this month before submitting a censure motion. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Chalerm Yubamrung boasted that the Prime Minister will be ready to answer all allegations. Chalerm will be responsible for helping to answer corruption allegations against the government's rice pledging scheme. Tomorrow morning, coalition parties will work out how they will proceed with the Constitution Amendment process. 10 essential laws, however, will be, as well as the fiscal budget, will need to be considered prior touching the charter. However, tomorrow the government will also begin preparations for the upcoming censure debate. And police have revealed that some of the war weapons seized from a bus at Moshit bus terminal this weekend still have serial numbers on them, making it easier to track down their origin. Police in Nakhon Ratchasima, however, are still checking CCTV footage to identify the culprits who loaded the weapons onto this bus. Police Colonel Kamthon Yucharan of the Police Bomb Squad Division said the weapons seized are old, yet still active and deadly. The weapons are in use by both military and police units across the country. Some of the weapons still have serial numbers, making it easier to trace their origin. Police are checking footage from closed-circuit cameras installed at Nakhon Ratchasima's bus terminal to check who loaded this cache of arms onto the bus heading for Moshit. Police were able to confiscate guns, ammunition, and 10 grenades, which were found after the original bus carrying the weapons broke down, and all of the passengers and luggage had to be transferred to a new bus, and the weapons owners did not pick up the merchandise. The two big questions which police and soldiers cannot yet answer is who these weapons belong to and, most importantly, where they were planning to use them. And immigration in any airports is the first checkpoint to make a lasting impression on flight passengers. However, the immigration at Suvarnabhumi Airport has been repleted with complaints for its long queues, which wastes much of the travelers' time. Immigration officers, on the other hand, have been trying to remedy this problem by adding working hours and bringing in new technology. Yet the demand for immigration officers at the Don Mueang Airport may create shortage of human resources at the Suvarnabhumi Airport. Here's more.
It has been 2 months since Police Lieutenant Kietgong Antewasik moved from a police station in Uthai Thani province to assume his new role as an immigration officer at the Suvarnabhumi Airport. Even though welfare there is better than he received in his previous workplace, his daily duties during his regular shift have become a lot more laborious. Some days he even has to work for as long as 16 hours when the airport is short-staffed. Ponchanok Fergus, a tour business operator, said that the present immigration process is better than in the past. There was one occasion last year where she had to wait 3 hours for her 6 tourists who arrived together on the same flight. Today, there are around 80,000 passengers arriving and departing through Suvarnabhumi Airport daily, but there are only 1,200 immigration officers, whose many responsibilities go beyond checking passports to investigating various immigration cases. This has sometimes led to a service crisis, especially during May through July, when passenger loads increased to around 100,000 visitors per day. Even though since last April, the airport has added more working hours and installed new technology so that passengers can check in with their passports by themselves, the problem of long immigration queues remains stubbornly unresolved. The immigration problem at Suvarnabhumi is likely to get even worse after October 1st, when Don Mueang Airport resumes full operation, adding 3 more airlines and requiring 400 more immigration officers. Despite the recent recruitment campaign by the Royal Thai Police, which began on July 29th, selection will take a long time to process, meaning that some immigration officers needed by Don Mueang Airport might have to be pulled over from Suvarnabhumi Airport. In the wake of many complaints from tour agents and visitors over the congested immigration procedure, the Immigration Bureau will meet to discuss possible solutions to the problem at both Suvarnabhumi and Don Mueang airports tomorrow. This is indeed an urgent issue, given the government's target to more than double the country's tourism revenues, from 700 billion baht to 2 trillion by 2015.
2 men charged with the murder of an Australian travel agent appeared in court in Phuket this morning, admitting to the judges that they needed cash to repay a debt worth around 300 baht. Surasak Suvarnachot and Surin Thapthong were arrested just a few days after the two allegedly stabbed and killed 60-year-old Michelle Smith and injured her friend during a robbery back in June. 26-year-old Suvarnachot said that he confessed to the killing and he was the one who actually stabbed Smith. He said the motive for the attack was to steal money to pay a 300 baht drinks bill. However, 37-year-old Thapthong, who is accused of being the driver of the getaway motorbike, denied the charge. Michelle Smith, an Australian travel agent, was stabbed in the heart during an attempt bag snatch by 2 men on a motorbike while she was walking near her hotel at night with a friend. It is not clear how long the trial will take, and both men could face the death penalty if convicted. The Department of Special Investigation, or DSI, has discovered graft in every step of the government's rice pledging scheme and is now closely monitoring rice storage in the central warehouses as well as the process of releasing stored of rice. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Chalerm Yubambrung instructed all related agencies to seek out corruption and bring wrongdoers to justice. The Department of Special Investigation indicated that although the government's rice mortgage scheme is stringent in scrutinizing the pledging process, there are still ways for farmers, millers, and millermen, as well as state authorities, to the corrupted system. The farmers' registration stage, the DSI discovered that businessmen, in collaboration with millers, paid unauthorized farmers to register and pledge rice illegally from outside the program or from neighboring countries. During the pledging stage, millers were found to cheat on the rice moisture level, weight, and contamination, hence significantly driving down the amount of payment the farmers could potentially receive. And when stored in central warehouses, good quality rice was revealed to have been sold in exchange for low quality rice, while the perpetrators pocketed the difference. Additionally, some government contracted companies did not pledge the correct amount of rice. Deputy Prime Minister Chalerm Yubambrung said that the Prime Minister has instructed all related agencies to seek out corruption in the rice pledging scheme. This includes the DSI, the Royal Police, and the Office of the Public Sector Anti-Corruption Commission. Among other measures, 2 police officers will be stationed at each of the 804 mills nationwide. All regions of Thailand, especially the north and the northeast, can expect more rain in the next 2 days. However, the Met Office says that the tropical storm Haiku will have no effect on Thailand. In the next 2 days, the monsoon weather trough will shift down to lie across the furthest northern and upper northeastern parts of the country, bringing with it increased rainfall, especially in the two regions. Many areas in the north, some of which, like Phuket province, where the floods have already hit, are trying their best to drain out water away to make room for more rain to come. Chiang Rai and Kamphaeng Phet local governments are speeding up the sewer dredging process to open up water drainage channels. In Ubon Ratchathani province, the banks of the Mekong River are currently only 2 meters above the waterline. It is a similar situation in Surin province, which is asking the government to speed up the dike construction projects along the Moon River, which have already been approved by the cabinet. Provinces along the north and northeast are preparing water pumps as they brace themselves for more rains this week. However, the Meteorological Department confirms that Tropical Storm Haiku, which is now over northeastern Taiwan and which is moving into China, will have no effect on Thailand. China's National Meteorological Center says Tropical Storm Haiku entered the eastern part of the East China Sea yesterday and is moving northwestwards at 15 kilometers per hour. An emergency alert has been ordered in Zhejiang in response to Haiku, requesting all levels of flood relief agencies to be fully prepared against the storm. Meanwhile, mainland Chinese authorities said Typhoon Saola and Demray caused widespread damage in 7 provinces, mostly in the coastal areas of China. The 9th typhoon of the year resulted in 7 deaths and 7 other people still missing, and more than 1 million people evacuated in 7 southern, eastern, and northeastern provinces. Meanwhile, more than 10,000 houses collapsed and more than 6,000 hectares of crops have been ruined in China. To celebrate Mother's Day, wardens and prison guards across the country will open prison doors for mothers to visit their imprisoned children. This campaign starts today and will end on August the 13th.
To celebrate Her Majesty the Queen's birthday, which is also celebrated in Thailand as Mother's Day, 143 prisons across the country will open their gates for mothers to visit their children who are behind bars. This campaign, also known as God Mae Wan Chalerm Phra Chomla Phansa, literally translated as Hug Mothers to celebrate the Queen's birthday, also applies to foreigners who are imprisoned in Thailand. Director General of the Corrections Department says he is hopeful that this idea, which is a form of family therapy, will help the jailbirds become better people once they are released. Every mother registering their name on the visitors list from now until the 13th will get 1 hour to meet with their children. Then, on the 13th of August, other family members will be allowed to enter prisons to visit their jailed relatives.
And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Subhajong Tin Sawan saying good night for now. Swadee Krap.